Hello grade 9. How are you? I hope you all are fit and fine and staying at home. So welcome back to my lecture. Chapter 3, topic diversity in the living organism. So today we will discuss the next part of the chapter. So let's start this lecture. First is the hierarchy of the classifications, in which there are different groups. First is the kingdom, then phylum and division. Phylum, when we talk about the Animalia, then phylum will come, and when we talk about the plants, then division will come. After that, class, then order, then family, then genus, and then species. Species is the last one. Now start the definition of all these groups. Species is a group of individuals with similar morphological characteristics which are unable to breed among themselves and produce offspring of their own kind. An individual of some same species that resemble each other, which are closely related both structurally as well as functionally. Second is the genus. Genus is a group of species which are related and have less characteristic is common between them as compared to species, and the member of the genus have identical reproductive organ. Now family is represented by a group of the related genera that are more similar to each other than with the genera of other families. Now order is an assemblage of the family, or you can say group of the family, which resembling one another's in a few characteristics. Class represent organism of related orders. Now phylum, it include all organism belonging to different class having a few common characteristics. Now the last one is the kingdom. It include all organisms who share a set of the distinguished common characteristics. It is the largest group in the hierarchy of classifications. Okay. Now organism is divided into two parts, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. That you know what is prokaryote and eukaryote. Prokaryotes basically involve unicellular organism which are made up of only single cell, and unicellular organism which are prokaryotic involve monera. And in the eukaryotes there are further two types, unicellular as well as multicellular. Unicellular involve protista, whereas multicellular is further divided into two types, with cell wall or without cell. In without cell wall, Animalia is there. Okay, and in with cell wall, first is the which perform photosynthesis, and second which do not perform photosynthesis, and those who perform photosynthesis that involve plantia, and those who do not perform any photosynthesis that involve fungi. So today we will discuss these five kingdoms. First is the monera, second protista, third fungi, fourth plantia, and fifth is the Animalia. So let's start with monera. Monera, as I told you, one-celled organism, that means unicellular, and cells have no membrane around the nucleus, that means prokaryotic in nature. And monera reproduce by splitting into the two. They absorb nutrient from outside from their bodies. Some monera causes diseases, but other are helpful to the pupil. Example, bacteria and Anabaena. Okay. After that, protista. Protista is basically, most are one celled, but some have many celled. One cell unicellular and many cells multicellular. And cells of the protista have a membrane around the nucleus, that means eukaryotic organism. Some of the protista get nutrient and energy by eating other organism, but some of the protista get energy from the sun and nutrient from the water around them. Most of the protista reproduce by splitting into the two. An example of protista are paramecium and amoeba. Now, third one is the fungi. Fungi is basically heterotrophic eukaryotic organism. They are saprophyte. Saprophyte are those organisms which obtain their food from dead and decaying matter. The cell wall of the fungi is made up of chitin. Chitin is a complex organic sugar molecule. Some of them live in close relationship with algae and plants that forming lichens and mycorrhiza. Some of the fungi have the ability of being multicellular. For example, yeast, mushroom and rhizopus, these are the example of the fungi. After the fungi, plantia is there. Plantia basically include all green plants. Plantia include multicellular organism except for some primitive relatives of algae. They are eukaryotic and they have cell wall which is made up of cellulose, and nutrition of the plant that is autotrophic. Growth in the plant is generally indefinite due to the presence of the growing points. Okay. So the rest part, that means further division of the plantia, that we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, be happy, and thank you.